Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the top 10 teams for the Scroll Cup for Season 25 of the GO Battle League. And today, we're going to have the Scroll Cup here back again. Based on the types that you see here already as the logo of the cup, you can already imagine what is available. You're going to be able to use Water, Fighting, as well as Dark type Pokemon. The only Pokemon that is going to be banned for this cup is going to be Primarina, because Charm would be a little bit too strong. And so, let's take a look at the top teams. But of course, if you appreciate those videos, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. I've already made a video towards the Ultra League top teams a week ago. I might do another one, but I have to see. It depends on if you want to see one, let me know down below. But let's start off in here with the first team. Where we're going to see one of the strongest Pokemon, of course, for this meta is going to be a Pokemon like the Azumarill, because Azumarill is going to be good against basically every of the types. There's nothing where Azumarill is going to really struggle against, because you're going to be able to hit basically everything. Other than, I guess, an Empoleon. But for that, we have Morpeko, for example, in the back here, which is generally a very good Pokemon to use in this meta. And we have the Say-Stop of Kingdom, which is really cool generally. You need to have, in my opinion, you need to have Swift and Outrage. Kingdom, of course, is going to be weak to Azumarill itself. That is going to be one thing that is a bit more annoying there, but the rest is going to be kind of fine. And with the buffed pacing of Dragon Breath, you're going to be able to pressure a lot of Pokemon in this meta with the move of Outrage, which is kind of nice. And so, Kingdra also has great pacing with Swift, because you're going to be able to get to the move after just 9 turns there, which is going to be, for example, even faster than Morpeko can get to an Auraria, which is kind of cool. So, Kingdra, very good Pokemon in this meta. Both Shadow as well as non-Shadow is good, but this is going to be it for team number 1. Azumarill, a Pokemon you have to be a bit aware of. Interestingly enough, Araquanid is a Pokemon that is seemingly very, very good. But with the team that we have here, with the Sableye as well as the Malamar, it's kind of good against, of course, the Malamar in the back itself. But it has the weakness against like the Moltres as well as the Murkrow. You have the option to go for Wall Rain, for example, here. That would help out a little bit. Interesting enough here, the recommended moveset for Sableye is Dazzling Gleam. I am not too sure if you really need Dazzling Gleam. You are going to be able to hit, I guess, Kingdra for super effective damage. Let's go through it. Manabuzz, you're going to be able to hit with the Rock type move as well. Against Azumarill, you're actually a bit worse with this moveset in particular. So, just generally speaking, I don't think you actually need to change a moveset if you have Power Gem currently on it. I do think that Power Gem kind of performs in a very similar way, as you're going to be able to knock out most of the Dark types, which are all kind of dark and flying apparently, or just generally going to be a bit on the squishier side. So, I think it's going to be fine here for the Sableye with the other moveset. And then Malamar on the back is going to be great closer in the matchup, as in the meta, especially with the Toxapex that you kind of want to counter here. This is going to be generally a very solid team, very nice and neutral. Double dark backline was kind of the theme for this team. And we can move on to team number 3. Where we're going to have some bulky Pokemon. This is kind of the bulkiest team that you can run. We have the Manabuzz, we have the Toxapex, and we're going to have the Araquanid. And this is going to be a very interesting, because here, what we will see is that the Toxapex is going to be generally the best Pokemon apparently in this meta. It actually doesn't really look that great on paper, but I still think it's going to be a Pokemon you have to be kind of a bit aware of. Your Say-Stop is going to be the Araquanid, which is also going to be the one answer that you have for Morpeko, which is otherwise going to be a bit of an issue for you. But it's going to be your best kind of answer for that. And then you have in the back the closer of Manabuzz, which you kind of need in order to deal as well with the Gastrodon. This is the thing as well, kind of need it for the Gastrodon. There are some more weaknesses as well, like just Lantern, for example, looks a bit more tricky for this team. I'm not too sure on how common Lantern is going to be. Funny enough, Araquanid is actually in the 2-shade scenario good against nearly everything though. So, it's not going to be the biggest issue, but I'm curious. It's the bulkiest team. If the bulkiest team works, we have to see, but I do think it's actually a very solid team. I think there are definitely some weaknesses, but I think you can actually play around them quite a bit if you can understand on how to position yourself. And now we're going to have more of a classic line. We're going to have a team here with the Gastrodon, which I talked about before just now, wanting to run Earth Power in this meta. You don't want to run Water Pulse at all. Water Pulse doesn't make sense in this meta whatsoever. You're going to be a bit weaker against Flying-type Pokemon, though, with the moveset that you have now on the Gastrodon. That's something you have to be aware of. But otherwise, it makes way more sense to have Earth Power, because you're going to be able to hit Toxapex for super effective damage, as well as you're going to hit Pokemon like Azumarill for some nice and neutral stab damage. And so, I do think that Gastrodon is going to be a very good Pokemon. And we can move on to the next team here. Where we're going to have another ABB style line, there's going to be a lot of ABB style line. This is, by the way, a general thing that happens all the time. if there is a cup with just limited types, like here with like 3 different types, ABB is usually taking over. It is usually just ABB lines everywhere. And this will not be an exception here. We're going to have an interesting team here though. I like this one because it's like a powerhouse team. You literally have so much damage with all of your Pokemon. You have the Annihilate, having the option to align yourself with like Rage Fist over a long time. You have Palmer. You don't want to have Brick Break on Palmer. I don't know why Brick Break is always recommended. It just doesn't really make too much sense. I think why it's recommended is because in like the ranking system itself, it baits with Brick Break and gets the defense drop and then hits a Wild Charge, which just knocks out a few more Pokemon. But Palmer's so much better by going for Close Combat and Wild Charge. As you're gonna see here, Palmer's actually a really, really good Pokemon, and I'm definitely gonna try it out. I definitely will make a video towards this Pokemon. There is no doubt about it. I think I will make even a video towards this team here specifically because I think it's an amazing team. Biggest weakness actually is gonna be Gastrodon. Like, yeah, your lead is gonna be fine. On paper, there's nothing here currently that's really difficult for us. Generally speaking, I do think that Gastrodon is going to be a bit of a trickier one to deal with, but at least with Palmer or their Say-Stop, you also have Close Combat still as a coverage move to threaten the Gastrodon, which you don't have directly with a Morpeko, and Morpeko is going to be, of course, a closer here. As we can move on now to the next Pokemon, which is going to be here the Como and the Hakomo, that are all kind of really highly ranked, and so I kind of want to put them both together because both of them kind of function completely differently towards each other. Like, you have here the Toxapex in the lead, which is here for a Zoom Roll, and that's basically it. And then we're going to have here Hakomo, which has Brick Break, Rock Tomb as our Say-Stop. Very nice neutrally, very nice, just nice coverage for the meta. And then we have Como on the back in order to just close out battles. And I think that's kind of going to be something that you can absolutely run for this upcoming meta. Hakomo and Como are both going to be very solid Pokemon. And so, yeah, definitely something that I would recommend you to give a try as well. Toxapex in the lead could have some issues in against like Malamar with like Psychic type damage. That's mainly the reason why we have as an alternative as well here Lantern, which is going to be a bit more neutral but still covers the Azumarill that you really need to cover. You have to have Spark on Lantern, by the way. Usually a Water Gun is currently the recommended moveset, but here in this meta, Spark just makes a bit more sense. There are not really any ground types that you're going to be able to counter with a Water Gun, and so Spark is going to be able to hit super effective against like Pokemon like Jellicent, Murkrow, the Azumarill, the Araquanid, the Mandibuzz, the Toxapex. You know it. So basically, Spark is definitely recommended here on the Lantern. Next up is going to be a team that I tried to build around the Empoleon, a Pokemon that I used in the video earlier. If you haven't seen the video earlier, it's a bit of a different series on the channel. I'm going to have it linked in the end card. I want to try to do some more different kind of content with battling, especially now where with the interlude season I kind of want to experiment a little bit more with content. So if you want to watch that, feel free to take a look at it. It's also a really good video, and honestly it's one of my favorite videos so far on the channel, so definitely check it out. But Empoleon is a very good Pokemon, like, I don't have to tell you that. You have the Say-Stop here of the Annihilate. Shadow version is going to be very solid as well, and here's basically on how this team works. There are some flying types in this meta. There's mainly Murkrow. There's also going to be, of course, the Mandibuzz, or there's going to be also the Moltres. But basically, what you have here is a lead that's going to be good against those flying type Pokemon. We're going to have a Say-Stop that has Ice Punch as your Say-Stop there as well, that's going to be able to bait out any of those. We're also going to hit them still for neutral damage with Counter, which is going to be fine against Pokemon like the Murkrow. And then in the back, we're going to have Ludicolo, which is here mainly to counter certain Pokemon, like to counter something Azumarill again, which you're also going to counter with the Elite already. But it's going to be doing better against Annihilate, which you can need to have in counter, as well as it's going to do better against Lantern, which you needed a bit of a counter here. So, like, Ludicolo makes a lot of sense in the back, and the worst matchup is actually other Ludicolos, which is kind of funny, but I do think there's next to no actual threat for this team, and so it's a good team to run for you, for sure. Triple Water is actually quite viable in this meta. There's going to be here, of course, a lead that's going to be double weak to grass. So we have a neutral Say-Stop that doesn't have a weakness to grass. And then we have Warmer in the back, which is going to be super effective against grass. But so far, we haven't really seen any grass-type Pokemon, really, so there are not going to be that many, so it's kind of safe to play this one. So, yeah, I do think that's going to be a good team, and it's going to be just a nice neutral team. It's my idea here was I tried to run Gastrodon without relying on flying-type Pokemon. That was kind of my main idea, because you don't really need to do it this, in this iteration. Because there's no grass type Pokemon. There are electric type Pokemon, and this kind of where this camps in clutch as well. You have a lead that's going to be good against electric, you have a Say-Stop that's going to be able to be neutral against them, and you have a closer that's going to be weak to electric type moves. So like it's kind of working out quite well as like trying to bait out stuff with the Kingdra, and I think it's a really good team to run. Triple Water is what it is. Morpeko is going to be also a very good lead here. As we saw already, there are a lot of Pokemon that are kind of weak to this little, yeah, whatever it is, like a little mouse, I guess. But yeah, you definitely kind of want to run even the lead. It's very good in any kind of position. I'd say Sub is a bit awkward if they have like a Gastrodon in the back. But yeah, Annihilate here is going to be our Say Sub again. Going to be having the similar kind of traits that we had before already. That's going to try to be a counter to other fighting type Pokemon, but also going to have access to Ice Punch, which is going to counter flying type Pokemon that you kind of want to bait out here because you have the Erectrant in the back, which is going to be the Pokemon that you want to support by having this setup. And this is kind of exactly what I want to have here. This team is actually amazing. I think it looks really, really good on paper. And again, I'm actually really happy with a lot of the teams I had here today. I think they're going to be all very, very strong for the upcoming meta. And of course, there's no real push towards like any elo or whatever, but like you still kind of want to win for the rewards, right? You still want to get like legendary encounters and everything. So yeah, definitely going to be here a very good team for you to run. Meowscarada. Meowscarada is an interesting Pokemon because you might think Leafage got buffed recently, a very strong Pokemon with that, going to be good against all the water type Pokemon, it's going to be even good against the electric type Pokemon. And you wouldn't be wrong with that. I think it's a good Pokemon with a Leafage, but the one thing that Meowscarada learns as well is Charm, which in this meta seems to be ridiculous on a Pokemon like Meowscarada because there's next to no Pokemon that can really deal with it. Other than, okay, Toxapex and Riccardo are the two Pokemon they kind of want to counter, which are both weak to, or also my numbers a little bit, they're all weak to kind of the electric typing. And that's why we have two electric type Pokemon here. We have the Lantern as our Say Stop and the Morpeko in the back. Here for this team, I actually do think it could be better to run a Water Gun Lantern, just because it's going to make the matchup against the Gastrodon a little bit more neutral, which kind of helps it out because you don't have the grass type damage immediately with the Meowscarada. But this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you want to see something like this again for the Ultra League, even though I had one video already for the Ultra League last week, then leave a like on the video here, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.